Good morning and welcome to another episode of Breakfast with Boom. I'm your host, MrBooMStickXL, and I have put together one heck of a show. I guarantee that for the next 2 hours, you will get all of the best gaming news and opinions from an incredible group of people that I have for today's panel. So I want to introduce them first so we can get right into these topics. First up, he's known on these YouTube streets as the professional. Whether he's a paid assassin, I couldn't say, and I wouldn't dare to because I still want to live. YouTuber, proud member of the Game Couch podcast and Scumcast that's run by the lovely Luca, a part of the hashtag Spectres, host of the RGT, Real Gaming Talk podcast. Please welcome Ryan the Professional. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate the invite. What's going on, everybody? Good morning to you all. Let's have a good show.
Well, listen, this is the first time we're working together. It is an honor. I've heard you many times, so I'm really grateful you took the invite. And let's move on to the next person. We have someone making his second appearance on Breakfast with Boom. He's taken the Twitterverse by storm. Massive lover of all things gaming and dedicated lifelong gamer, and someone I look forward to talking to when it comes to gaming. Welcome, the Indie Gamer.
Well, thank you very much, Boom. It's absolutely awesome to be back on. I love this community here. Great people in the chat, every single one of them. Just love being on your show. You run an awesome show, so I can't wait to get into it. Awesome people on the panel too. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for the invite. Can't wait to rock it. Cheers, mate.
Well, thank you very much again for attending. Next up, we have a man known for riding his Ducati at breakneck speeds when it's not raining in the UK. Software developer, known techie, musician, gamer, and biker from the UK who's currently working on HoloLens. My very good friend, Judzilla. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, Boom. How's it going, mate? Thanks very much for having me back. And hello to the chat. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. For me, I got off work a bit early to be with you guys, and we've got a great show lined up. So we're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much again for attending. Last, but certainly not least, we have a panel member extraordinaire of the Saltiest Gaming podcast, professional stand-up comic who specializes in incredible parodies and is always looking to bring common back to the sense. My very good friend, Titan Drago. What's going on, dude?
Man, thanks, Boom. Your intros are second to none, man. But, you guys are just waking up, and I'm like the singer, so I need to do a little vocal exercise to get me waking up in the morning. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get ready to podcast.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna warm up my voice real quick.
Beautiful.
First things first, I gotta take out my frustrations on the Indie Gamer live on air because he was not at TSGV last night when I needed him.
Lord.
Heck, man, let me tell you. And I want to go over this real quick because I think I lost some people last night. So, the debate was mostly on my difference of opinion that games should not cost more. I don't think they should cost more. Apparently, everyone that was there last night defended a price increase of newly released games, and I could not go along with that. So I got attacked, essentially. But they said inflation was their main factor, which to me, I mean, I can understand it, but to me, it's not a good reason because I don't think the price of gaming needs to go up because companies are making a killing hand over fist, for the most part. And here's where I lost a lot of people, I think. Maybe I didn't explain it well, but hear me out before you dismiss me like the chat did in panel last night. So, like, the normal rules of supply and demand, to me, are not applicable with video games because there can never be a shortage. They're not a tangible product that we have to harvest. We don't need video games to survive like water or food. Yes, there are digital copies, but like yes, there are physical copies, but most of everyone is like going digital anyways, right? But no one's ever said at GameStop, oh my God, we only got 10 more copies of Call of Duty. Raise the price right now because the laws of supply and demand dictate that decision. No one has ever said that, and no one ever will say that. But let's take Red Dead 2, for example, right? by everyone else's rationale last night, since Red Dead Redemption 2 cost what, $750 million to make, right? Then it should have costed more than $60 to at release, right? But it didn't happen because everyone's rationale is wrong with this. And you know what? Prices go up and it costs more to make games, but so many more people are coming into the industry, and that is offsetting the initial price increase of games. And that's just my opinion. And it was an excellent debate. And I was wondering your guys' thoughts on that as well.
Sorry about that, John. Someone rang the bell.
Don't all speak at once.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Here's the thing, dude. Opinions are opinions. And, I don't agree with someone, I don't like the pile on the rabbit thing where someone will say something, everyone will be like, well, no, hold on just a second, Johnny. And everyone jumps on. That's the fun thing about these shows. They're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be opinionated. A lot of times it's speculation. Personally, in regards to what you were saying last night on Salty's show, I don't think games should go up. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I like the microtransaction way of doing things personally. I know that's a dirty word, but like, for instance, Assassin's Creed, right? The new one, Odyssey, one of my favorite games in the entire series. They have microtransactions in that game, but they don't shove it down your throat. I spent $20 because I wanted the Pegasus. I said this on yesterday's Xbox show. And that's my choice. And those extra funds help fund the game, on the back end, not raising the price of the game. I don't want to see an $80 Assassin's Creed whatever. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that. I already buy the gold edition. That's $100. So what is it going to cost me if they start raising the prices? $150?
Yeah. To me personally, it just depends on how they do it, to be honest with you. There's a way of doing it in terms of microtransactions and DLC. Like, for example, look at, like, if it's a free-to-play game that they literally just put out there for the sake of you, for you to play, like Rocket League, for example. Notice how Rocket League is becoming this big esports thing. Remember, it wasn't even close to that. It was like a shell of a game when it first came out. But it, so many people loved it that it turned into what it is now. So, I don't like the process of them putting out half-ass games or incomplete games and then charging you this crazy fee for the rest of it. Like Capcom did that with Dead Rising 3. They literally had you paying for the ending.
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
And I don't like that particular practice at all. Like, if you're gonna do it, fine, but at least make sure the content right out the bat for $60. You really
have to get a complete game, Ryan. I agree with you. You need that complete game for $60. If you wanna charge me $30 for a season pass, you're gonna extend the game that's like for instance, again, Assassin's Creed, perfect example. There's gonna be so many stories on the back end of the listen, I'm 10 plus days into that game, 10 days. And I'm still playing it. So I got my money's worth of that $100, and I still haven't even touched the DLC, which doesn't start coming out until next week. So that's in my opinion, the perfect way to do it. I don't like what you said with the Dead Rising, where you play the game, you buy the game for full $60, $65.01 with tax here in New York, and then you're getting charged for these microtransactions to actually finish the game. That's a shitty way to do business.
I never understood that, and people defend it too. It's like, you didn't even get the complete experience. They're cutting you away from that right out the gate. And half these missions that they give you nowadays don't even substitute the price at all.
Yes.
They want $30, and these missions last like what, 10 minutes? Some of them?
Some of them are under an hour for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely under that. That's not my idea of a way to do DLC. But well, listen, Titan Drago, I hope that you were able to get clarify some stuff. I don't think that you were wrong at all. I just think that is your opinion. I think what has people kind of on the fence when you're talking about price increase versus microtransactions is that I think the loot boxes have spooked a lot of people. Like people, when you say loot boxes, everyone runs for the hills because that has become the dirty word, right? You say loot boxes, like what's that?
It's gotten worse with that. I don't know if you heard about Activision's new thing they're doing. But the little
are you talking about being able to specifically buy an item? get like 3 items for $20
bucks. They're doing something. Oh, I think that's it. Where it's this part of the dealer thing. You buy it and like you do the tiers to unlock the other one, even though you already paid for it.
It's disgusting.
I don't get that. And the sad thing about it is you can pay to get past the tiers.
Yeah. So again, it's pay to win. Sorry.
Ridiculous.
Hey, Boom, do you mind if I just quickly?
No, listen, this is a conversational podcast.
Just a real quickie, if that's just a real quick one. Cheers. I just want to address Titan because I am distraught that I missed the show last night. I'm tearing myself up inside about it, to be honest with you. But I'm sure my wife must have spiked my drink or something because I fell asleep. I genuinely was trying to hold my eyes open for it, and literally next minute I'm in my computer chair like all over the shop with literally just all over the shop. I woke up just after it finished. But quickly to answer your question as well about the about whether I think games should go up, I actually would have supported you there, brother. I would have said.
Now you're making me feel even more frustrated.
I'll put a comment in that when I catch up on it.
I'm gonna get you some dipsticks to test your drinks with, man. See if they've been see if you've been roofied or not.
Yeah, I think that's gotta be it. But yeah, I would have supported you. I'd just say simply make better games, you'll sell more. There you go.
Yeah, no, dude, I think that's as simple as you make it sound. I don't think people, even in 2018 standards, understand that if it's like if you build it, they will come. The old baseball parody. You know what? If you make a good game, you're going to sell millions. And you know what? God of War is a perfect example of that. Okay, they
that's
took a chance. Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah. Because gamers don't set the example half the time. They just buy whatever comes out just from name alone. They don't really go by quality half the time, it seems, with these third-party games. Seems
exactly,
like that.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, listen, if everyone's gotten that, cleared the air, and, obviously Titan Drago asked me for the stage, and it was all his. So I hope that we answered your questions, Titan.
I've given Titan a virtual hug back. Virtual hug.
Exactly. Well, listen, let's open up the show with something that's coming up soon. The Game Awards. They're on their way. The closer we get to December 6, 2018, the more we're hearing about this. And it's supposed to be the biggest show ever. We know for a fact that we're getting 10 world premieres. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have talked about Jeff Keighley on this show numerous times. Obviously, I lost a tremendous amount of respect for him as a professional when he leaked the Xbox One X price 50 minutes before Microsoft was supposed to take the stage. He really, really disappointed me. But I'm going to say this. He has done for gaming what no one has done before. He has made a stage for it. He has made an awards program for it that no one has done. His love for gaming and Kojima, more specifically, is true. And it's honorable to see how he cares about the gaming industry. So here's the thing. A few things have leaked. We know for a fact that Obsidian's new RPG is going to be unveiled. And considering they are now on Microsoft first party, this is a big deal. It's also been confirmed that we're going to see, and I have to say it again, folks, 10 new games that we've never seen before. And that in itself has me pumped. But I know how I feel. I want to know how the panel feels. Titan Drago, I want to go to you first, my brother, because you are, you speak a lot on your shows. You had a lot to say to open up the show, and I want you to continue revving that engine. So what are your takes on the Game Awards as a show, and what are you expecting from it?
Oh, to keep it in high gear on this topic, I don't know about. So I'm actually going to want to take it down a notch here. I'm going to change the pace up here because like you said, the guy pissed you off, but you're right. Like everyone has their spot in the, in the gaming world, whether it's for the good or for the bad. And, to me, it's like, let's just give credit where credit is due. As long as that happens, I usually don't get bothered too much. But as far as the game shows, like you said, the pregame, right? You were talking about you're hoping the Dragon Age isn't a mobile game, right?
Right.
So hopefully they kind of surprise us like the way like Assassin's Creed Odyssey did, because honestly, like Did anyone see Assassin's Creed Odyssey coming? Like the way it did, like how crazy good that game is. Like it really came out of left field and how quick it came out and et cetera, et cetera. Like the list goes on, right?
Yeah.
So that would be nice to have another extreme surprise like that. But you know what? Give me some time to beat all these games first, because my wife surprised me with Assassin's Creed Odyssey 2, and I got Red Dead, and I got Kingdom Come Deliverance, so I got to beat all these damn games.
You have a lot of hours to play and catch up, dude.
Exactly, man. It's like it's getting overwhelming at this point. But Dragon Age is number one for me. I really want to hear something from the new devs from Microsoft, like maybe the Superman game, maybe something. I don't care which, just one of them. You know, you don't gotta blow me away. Just give me a bite. Just let me see what it tastes like. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Listen, dude. I mean, you if you go into dinner, right? You usually get appetizers, right? And you want to get there, and you're freaking starving, so you got to have that whatever kind of appetizer you like. The fried mozzarella or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is how I think it's gonna get. We're gonna get little pieces, and then we're gonna get the big bombs. And you know what? Look, like I said, he does produce a show when it comes to information that's quality. The commercials and stuff, they're very cheesy. I hope we don't have another incident where we had a big guy running around, or a human razor running around taking selfies. I thought that was cringe-worthy to watch a couple of years ago. I hope we don't have that. I know he needs sponsors, but man, just run commercials, bro. Just reach out to the three big ones. Have all you need is PlayStation commercials, Microsoft commercials, and something from Nintendo, and you're good. You're just gonna pay all your ads. But Ryan, I want to go to you next, dude. Listen, the Game Awards has become a yearly thing, and a lot of people get excited for it. And I'm as a fan of gaming, not one particular system. I like gaming as a whole because I enjoy content on all three major consoles. I'm looking forward to this because I already know we're getting 10 games, unveiled that we've never seen before, and that has me super pumped. But what are your takeaways from the fact that yesterday Jeff Keighley tweeted that he was welcoming Casey Hudson, and we hear that now we may get the Superman unveil called World's Finest from Rocksteady. We're hearing that we know for a fact that Obsidian's going to show. I mean, this is shaping up to be probably the biggest show since E3. What are your takes on this?
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm looking forward to it really, really good because number one, Sony's not going to be at E3 next year,
right?
And they're not doing a PSX. For obvious reason. They said they're pretty much it's for PS5. We already know this is pretty much a fact. Xbox Scarlet's around the corner. PS5 is literally around the corner. But looking at the situation as is, there was a tweet that came out also that we might see an Avengers reveal.
Oh, that would be great, dude.
Yeah, because something about the director saying that there was going to be something about the Avengers at the Game Awards. So I'm definitely looking forward to it because last Game Awards, we got the reveal for Death Stranding. The actual legit trailer for it.
Yes, we did.
And there was a rumor going around that supposedly we might get the release dates for.
I did see that as well. Yes, good point. Great to bring up.
There was rumors for Death Stranding 2 release date, plus the rumors for a Ghost of Tsushima release date. Now, whether those are true or not, we shall see. It's definitely one of those things we have to see. But as far as 10 announcements to go and everything else out here, I mean, hey. You just as a gamer, you can't help but be excited for that in general.
No, absolutely. Real quick before we get to the next panel member, I have to do a shout out to Michael Johnson for the $3 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. It's greatly appreciated. He says the Game Awards equals a 3-hour PlayStation commercial. That is very true. And a big shout out to Cedric H with the super awesome $5 super chat. He says, "What's up to everybody on the panel and in the chat?" Thank you so much, Cedric. We appreciate your support. Okay, Judzilla, I want to get to you, brother. We haven't talked in a while. I've missed you on the show. I'm really excited that you are here today. Jeff Keighley, we've talked about him. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. A lot of people are lukewarm like myself. But you know what? You have to give respect where respect is due. This has become one of the bigger shows. I mean, when December comes around each and every year, like June, you expect an E3. Like when December comes, you expect the Game Awards, and this has become a much bigger show. It's getting bigger and bigger each and every time. But what are your takes from the show, and are you excited to see these 10 reveals?
I am excited, yeah. I mean, I agree with you on Jeff Keighley. I really don't like the guy, but what he's done, I think is pretty legit. He does need to get rid of things like razors running around. You'd imagine there'd be enough gaming-related companies that want to sponsor that. You know, get NVIDIA in and get them to, you know, do some commercials for the new graphics cards or something. Anything apart from big razors. But I kind of separate it out between Jeff Keighley and the award show itself. I do look forward to it. I think anytime you get to see new stuff, new reveals, exclusives, is good. Yeah, it is a bit of a Sony love-in, to be honest with you. But to be fair, Microsoft needs to release some games. So
yes, you know, good point. Fantastic point.
Actually show so. Yep. And that comes from a Microsoft fan, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it is good. I do enjoy it. I think they should try and be a little bit less like the Oscars. They're not the Oscars, you know. Just get your own identity and legitimize it properly. Don't try and be something you're not. But
yeah, I agree. Yes, that's actually a fantastic point. Before you could become the Oscars, you have to become the Oscars, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? You have to, you know, slow steps. You can't go to 1 to 10. You know, you need to kind of work your way up there. And you know what? To be fair to Jeff Keighley, he has been tugging the line. Again, my distaste for what he did and the fact that I sometimes think he's kind of tooly. Doesn't take away from, and again, I really want that to come through and understand that in the chat and people that are listening live on the air, that I don't have a hatred for the dude. I just think that sometimes he's too cheeky, for me personally, when he does things, and he does wear the Sony banner on his sleeve. When you say Game Awards, right, you think everything in gaming, and that goes for PC, that goes for mobile. I get that. Sometimes he doesn't come off that way. You know what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with the fact that he's best friends with Kojima, because you know what? That's awesome. You know, you work in the business long enough, you meet people. Like, for instance, Mooch. I've never met him personally, but I consider him one of my best friends because he helped me get into this, you know, into podcasting and showed me the ropes. So I'm here because of him. So even though I've personally never met him, he's considered a best friend in this business that we're all in. And I'm assuming, obviously, with Jeff Keighley and Kojima, they've gone to dinner, they've probably hung out in each other's houses, and that's awesome. But when you're doing an award show that's supposed to be, you know, including everyone, you can't wear the Sony banner, on your lapel. I just don't think that's acceptable. And sometimes he does do that. But let's hear from the indie gamer. Indie, first of all, thanks so much for hanging out. It's greatly appreciated. The Game Awards. We're talking about it for the last 23 minutes, and everyone seems to be on the same page that we're looking forward to this show because we're going to see some big-time reveals. What is your excitement level, and what are you hoping to see?
Just firstly about I think it's really good that we actually have an actual awards, a big awards sort of. I know everyone says a bit, you know, you have to earn the respect of the Oscars position first, but it's good to have recognition in an industry. I think it's a good thing as a whole. And my excitement level being that there are 10 plus games to be announced, it puts you, you know, it makes you think, surely that is going to be good, but you never know what it can turn out to be, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually, like, I mean, I've heard some people say they're more excited for this than, you know, other big events which actually are made for you know, showcasing games. This is an awards event, and it's got that in there as well. So to be honest, pretty excited. I mean, there's like the new Obsidian game, The Outer Worlds, which looks pretty interesting from some of the concept art looks quite intriguing, a bit like propaganda, sort of like Bioshocky, if you know what I mean. But you never know what the actual game will be like. But it looks quite intriguing.
Yes.
You got, I don't know if you knew as well, there's an Alien game apparently in the works, which sounds pretty good. But yeah, there's quite a lot of good stuff potentially could be announced. But you, like I say, you don't know what it's gonna turn out like. I definitely think we're gonna get a actually another thing I would quite like is some confirmation of when Rage 2 is coming out. So maybe some that'll be nice to know, because that's supposed to be in spring apparently. So, and like I'd like to know also when Doom Eternal. This is just personal things, but you know, some release dates of a couple of games, and I definitely think one of those. Well, 90% think that Death Stranding will get one, just because, you know, they're such buddies, aren't they? Old Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima, they're like in each other's pockets. So I think that it's sort of like almost him behind the scenes, like pulling all the cords. Jeff's doing whatever he wants him to do, kind of thing. So yeah, I think that will definitely help. There is I'll be a flavor of that in there, but I do think it'll be a good event. Like I say, I think it's good the games get recognition, but I do think there is it's slightly a skewed slant on it in a way. It is a PlayStation-ish. I don't hate me, PlayStation guys, but I think there's a bit of a play.
Listen, we're here to talk. Everyone's opinion counts, and what you're saying isn't far from the truth. It has always seemed like you've heard this before, and I know that Ryan, I know Titan, I know Judd have heard this on Twitter or even on any of the shows that they're on. That, you know, December is Sony's month, right? You usually you get PSX and you usually get the Game Awards, and it's like one long Sony thing. And that is, I hate to say it, is the truth.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm sorry.
Like Ryan said as well, you know, they've not got their events, so there might be more PlayStation stuff again, but for that to make up for it in this one. So, it'll be interesting anyway. I think I'll enjoy watching it anyway. I'm sure. 10 plus game announcements is never a bad thing, is it?
No, certainly not. Real quick, we move on to segueing into the next topic. Robert Griffin with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that. He says, I like the Community Game Awards, and I agree with you on that. Andy Mack coming in with the $5 super chat all the way from London. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. He says, hey guys, listening while training. That is the way to do it, because that's what I do when I'm in the gym doing my Pilates. He said, I'll be busy gaming then watching an awards show. And okay, so let's segue into the next topic. And it's a good one, especially for me, because I'm a Resident Evil freak. One of the rumors that have popped out is that we're going to not only get more coverage on Resident Evil 2 at the Game Awards, but Capcom has been putting out cryptic Resident Evil 2 teaser videos, and it's the word on the street from what I've been hearing is we're going to get a demo at the Game Awards. Now, whether or not that is going to be right now, go to your system of choice and download, which I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, or they're going to give us a date. Titan Drago, I have to go to you. For me personally, Resident Evil 2, the remake, is already my game of the year 2019. Now, I know you're saying I'm crazy. How could you say it?
No,
like
it. Man.
Crazy movie.
I'm crazy. All right. Now, here, this. Let me explain myself for a second. Okay.
Okay, you got the mic.
All right. First of all, Resident Evil 2, the original, is my number one game of my gaming career of 40 years. And I have a funny feeling that based on what I've seen so far, that might get replaced by Resident Evil 2, the remake, because it looks that goddamn good. So, Titan, what are your takes on the fact that we could see more footage, but even actually play it as a demo at the Game Awards? What do you think?
I'm pretty much on the opposite side of the fence as you, buddy. I'm sorry, but you know, we're gonna disagree on this topic, and let's have fun doing it, shall we? So, Resident Evil 2 I preferred Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. That was my favorite Resident Evil game of all time.
That's a good one. But when you're done, I have some information on that as well.
Excellent. Okay, but you know what? When you posted this, didn't they say it was taking like 800 people to remake this?
Yes, actually, we're going to segue into the next topic. 800 developers and growing. That sounds ridiculous to me. That's not adding up to me. Maybe you could clarify me, but like how many people do they need doing mocap? Like they got they got specific actors doing mocap. Right. Like, no, your face don't look right on this mocap. Let's get another guy in here.
Like something isn't making sense. Like maybe they're milking the cow on it, or I don't know. Maybe they got a big budget. Who knows?
Maybe they got a 500-piece orchestra doing the music.
Yeah, right.
Little cheeky little sleight of hand.
Yeah, good one, man. But for me personally, I'm not too huge into the remakes. Personally, I'd rather see that effort, all that manpower going to new IP. But that's just me. You know, if you got something to come back at me, let's do it. You know, let's have at it. But that's just my opinion.
No, listen, dude. That's entirely fair. We have heard now. Obviously, if we're all in the gaming business per se, so you've heard of the 4chan forums. Now, there's a particular guy called Anonymous that has posted Resident Evil 2 information before, and it's all come true. Just about everything he said. And after the announcement and the unveiling at Sony's E3. A giant post came out that Capcom, an insider at Capcom, says that they're currently have plans and in pre-production for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis remake. And if you go back a couple of months to prior to E3, Capcom had their financials and they said they're going back into the catalog to pull out a bunch of older IPs to reboot.
You know what? For me, don't remake it. I say completely like reimagine Resident Evil 3 because I remember back in the day. Do you guys remember? Like I was like legitimately like damn, that's cool. Where's this motherfucker at gonna? You know, he's chasing you and stuff, and like you get all these like like alien type scenes, where he runs across the background or whatever. Like I still remember that crap, and so. Like with the power that systems have nowadays, man, I would really love to see just a completely reimagined of it. But
you want them to go full out God of War, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I'm happy for it. It looks good and everything in that nature. I just hope they don't do what they're doing with Devil May Cry with the microtransaction shit. I don't want that in the game at all.
Yeah, I see your point in regards to that. The Devil May Cry, are you talking about where you can buy all the extra stuff? Yeah. I mean, you know what they had. You know what? See, that's the thing. They had it.
Yeah.
In all the other Devil May Cries where you could buy the hearts. You could. And it really wasn't gross. I guess it wasn't. I guess at that point when those games were out, microtransactions were kind of. I suppose accepted.
Yeah, just off to the side. Now it's going into the dangerous category. I mean, now you can buy microtransactions that can literally just unlock everything. Like, how they do it for they did it for Mortal Kombat where you can buy all the crypt items and unlock everything.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I don't want that at all to become a standard where we can literally just pay for shortcuts. Because that's basically what it is. You think about it. It's basically a cheat code you're paying for to unlock everything.
That's really real world money.
Well, you did have to pay for a Game Genie, but that was much more cost efficient back in the day, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, look, I think the Game Genie was $59.99 and it came with a book, so you could put all your codes in.
Yeah,
you can pay for someone to play it for you as well.
Yeah, you can pay for that. The Pelican Code Breaker, that thing too. There's also that. So.
All right. Well, listen, Ryan, anything else you want to add to it? Because I was going to go to you next regarding Resident Evil 2. Are you excited for the game per se, or
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, that's good to know. And like I said, I hope there's a demo. I mean, the game comes out January 25th. So I mean, we're only a couple of months away from its launch. So to have a demo released now would be absolutely fantastic.
Just hope there's no $4,000 jacket they're selling off to the side.
Yeah, right. The collector's edition, $9,800 for the collector's edition.
That's crazy. You'd buy it as well, wouldn't you, Boom?
You know what? Trust me, if I was rich, I would get that damn jacket. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You got 3 different tiers, which is the crazy part about it.
Yeah, you can get the pants, you can get the badge, you can get the fake gun, 9,800 yen.
You get a whole cosplay set for 8,000.
Anyway, listen, Judzilla, I want to get to you on this, dude. What are your takeaways on the fact that we actually might get a Resident Evil 2 demo at the Game Awards where they kind of do one of those, okay, download it now? I mean, that would break the internet. I would be super stoked. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it looks fantastic. I'm looking forward to the game. I want to go back to the amount of people and Drago's point. like you said, working in development myself, it's crazy. 800 people, and I think in your notes you said there was 600 that worked on RE6.
Correct.
Now,
yes.
Hey, this is just crazy. You know, we're talking about the cost of games and things going up. Well, gamers' expectations are going up as well. You know, they want high fidelity stuff. They want this crazy photogrammetry and all this motion capture. But 200 people, it's a remake. Have 600 people working on a new IP or the next in the series, and have 200 people working on the remake. It's a kind of nostalgia type thing, or you know, love letter to the fans. You've got a bunch of games that are being enhanced now by small teams. Why do we need 800? I can't even conceive of managing 800 people.
That's what I was getting scared for. That hopefully they're just like they're remastering this or building upon this to make it even longer or something. But I hope they're not doing anything sinister where they're building a system where you can pay for microtransactions.
That is the worry, isn't it? They're building an economy into that game. So
exactly,
that's going to be. But you know, we'll wait and see. I mean, I'm pumped for the game. It looks great. You know, it takes you back to the days when you had RE1, RE2, and you know, the original Halo, those kind of days on the old consoles, and bringing it into the new era. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. If we get a demo, yep, I won't be going to work for a few days.
Yeah, well, you know, back in my my police officer days, I took a week vacation to import Resident Evil 2 from Japan, which I beat in 3 days, but all 4 ways. Started with Leon, finished with Claire, start with Claire, finish with Leon. My friends were like, "You're ridiculous. It's not even out in the States. What are you doing?"
Hey, you should be a guest star in that game.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. Capcom, my DM is open, brother. Listen, anytime you want to immortalize me, you know what, man? Hook a brother up, because I have the tactics, I have the gear. I'm ready to go. I can't play myself. Anyway, listen, Indy, I want to get your take on this, brother, before we move on to the next topic. Resident Evil 2, to me, again, this is just me. We've heard the rest of the panel. For me, it's the most anticipated game in 2019. It's already been checked, marked in, locked in. The lock is, I threw away the key, locks on, nothing's changing. Resident Evil 2 Game of the Year for Boom 2019. I haven't played it yet, but it's already been done. What are your takes on the fact that we might get a demo, and are you excited for the game?
I'm very excited for the game, definitely. Sometimes when I'm so excited for a game and it's like you say you're sold on it already, I'm almost like I'll leave the demo, because it like I was with Forza Horizon 4, actually, even though I did try that for a little bit. But I sort of just avoid the demo and then get straight into the game kind of thing. But yeah, because I was well sold on Forza Horizon 4 before that came out. That's just an example. But yeah, I'm definitely be picking that up, especially at a time when hopefully we would have cleared a bit of the backlog anyway, with Christmas and that. But yeah, so I'm definitely excited. And yeah, I know Jodzilla said he works in development. He probably knows a hell of a lot more than me about that, and you guys probably do as well. But 800 people, I think they're approaching it as almost like, they're throwing everything. They're approaching it like a really big game, not necessarily as a remake, almost, because it is quite it's very much reimagined in my opinion. Like obviously what they're looking at is the original source material and making it up, but it's a different perspective game. It's quite a lot different. So I mean, games like Assassin's Creed, if you sit there and watch the whole credits, then you're there for a long time. So
yeah, hundreds and hundreds of people.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of people working on the game in all different areas. Whatever it might be, just tiny little areas where it's you kind of research or whatever, those kind of things. So I know it's a lot of people, but I don't think of it as intensely high number. I think it's a good number.
Indy 800. I know. Just say that again. 800. Go and line up 800 people in your living room and see what that looks like. It's not in any way a good number.
It must be that orchestra. It's the orchestra, I think.
I mean, I never really sat down and thought of the number. I saw it. Okay, I got to do the story 800 people. But when you really start to analyze it in your mind, my God, where they're working has to be huge, right? Like, I mean, it's got to be. It can't be one location. It's got to be at least 3 or 4, 5 studios maybe that are doing. You have your mocap location. You have your set writers and it just. Listen, all I'm going to say is this: what I've seen so far in the game, it looks absolutely, because I was nervous. Like when because where Resident Evil stands for me is my favorite game of all time. When you hear they're going to remake it, you get excited, but then you get a little nervous. You're like, is it going to ruin what I remember of the game?
Yeah.
Right. You know, like the first time you saw the liquor on the ceiling, you were like, holy shit, what just happened? Or when you shit your pants and you didn't tell anyone when the Mr. X broke through the wall, you're like, oh, I got to pause the game. Excuse me. I got to go to the bathroom. Sorry. Right. I hope that they, and you know what, Capcom, they're still one of my favorite companies. I think that they are going to do justice. I'm looking forward to that. But let's move on to the next topic. A new Legend of Zelda game reportedly coming sooner than we think. And if rumors are true, then I'm super hyped because the next Legend of Zelda is none other than The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, which is supposed to be ported over to the Switch. Now, I know everyone wants a proper Legend of Zelda for the Switch, like Breath of the Wild, which, by the way, I put 131 hours into. Loved it from start to finish. Even with the breakable swords, at first I was a little like, and then I got used to it, and I could not stop. You know, I hate to say this. Out of the 131 plus hours I played that game, I'm going to say, this is embarrassing, 20 of those hours was cooking. All I wanted to do was fucking cook. Stand in front of that pot and just throw and throw fruits and vegetables and make things. I really enjoyed that game. I never got a chance to play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. It was at the end life cycle of the Wii U. We know how that went. Listen, you know, say what you want about ports. Some people can do it and they do it poorly. Nintendo does it, and it's usually gold, especially when it comes to nostalgia. Like Mooch always says, nostalgia is the hell of a drug. Well, most people who are Nintendo fans look for them to bring older games. Heck, I'm still looking for Mario Sunshine to come, to the modern console. But Titan, I want to go to you. First of all, are you excited on either side of the fence, whether it's a new Zelda or they bring Skyward Sword or we get both? What are your takes on this?
I feel like a negative Nancy today, Boom. It's a big personal issue with me. I feel like I've lost my gaming will to play Nintendo titles for the most part. Just the decisions that Nintendo have made have kind of gone away from me, and I've kind of fallen toward the Microsoft side with the online and the multiplayer and the services and all that. Like, I got a Switch upstairs, and it rarely gets played. Only one of my sons really touches the thing from time to time. And they got a lot of games on that thing too. Like every time I come up there, I think that grandma every week she buys them a new game every week. It seems like, and Zelda is up there. And I played it for probably 15 minutes or so to try and like bond with them while playing it. You know, trying to do like a bonding thing. Like I remember when I was your age, I was playing on this on a 2D plat, you know. But honestly, I was like burnt out by the time that 15 minutes was over, and I don't get it. I just, it is what it is. It's weird for me because I love Zelda on the NES. I absolutely loved it. Right. For one reason or another, like, you know,
the 3D ones just don't blow up your skirt, so to speak.
I really don't know what it is. Maybe you guys could fucking help me. Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, you know what? Everyone's entitled to their opinion, like I said in the beginning. And if, you know, listen, not every topic is going to be, you know, is going to, you know, get you, you know, hit the ground running. I totally get that. But Ryan, I want to get your opinion on this.
Real quick, Indy was right in the chat. Maybe I need to drink some beer.
Everything looks better with beer.
Yeah. Ryan, the news began to spread like wildfire earlier yesterday after the Legend of Zelda series producer Eiji Aonuma teased that the beloved entry into the series may be just coming to the Nintendo Switch platform sometime in the near future. And that is a big deal because you know how they are with their release dates. They are the air doesn't get through how close they hold it to the vest. But are you excited to see a new Zelda on the Switch? And or are you excited for them to port over the older Legend of Zelda game?
Well, I mean, as far as the older Zelda games, I mean, this is going to be the mentality of them this has been the mentality of them from the start with the Wii U. Because remember, the Wii U did not do the numbers they were expecting at all. Correct. It didn't really dazzle anybody the way they wanted to. If you look at the Switch, it's basically the Wii U, but it's done the proper way.
Correct.
People actually like, you know.
Yes.
Remember, their idea of immersing you into the game was you looking up and down with the controller, and that didn't do anything for nobody. You know, they wanted that so bad. I think it's cool and all that they're doing this. You know, more games for their consumers. It's fine, but hopefully that doesn't mean they're driving quality.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, listen, as a gamer, you want new games, right? Like I know we were just talking about Resident Evil 2 and like, you know, I don't know, you know, I make a new game. I totally get that.
Make a new game.
but at the same time, you know, like a guy like me, for instance, I never played Skyward Sword, and I'm going to tell you why I didn't, because I didn't want to use the stupid Wiimote to have to swing around. You understand what I'm saying? Could you? I mean, I'm 48, so when that game came out, let's say I'm 43. Could you imagine a 43-year-old police officer?
Well, you think about it though, the way they did the Wii was brilliant. They didn't show people of your age. They didn't even show people of my age. I'm 26. They showed older senior citizens playing the Wii. So the way they handled the Wii was pretty brilliant. How they did that, because they showed off old people. They didn't show off us.
They showed grandma. I want to hang out with them.
They didn't show us off, but they literally did that. But with the Wii, I mean, again, like certain games, like I wouldn't mind doing that, but it's like, dog, there's going to be one point in time where I'm gonna get tired of that, and I just want to pick up a regular controller, a gamepad, and just play the damn game. Yeah, I don't want to have to do all these ridiculous gestures. I don't want to have to jump back and dodge. I don't want to do that. And that's where Nintendo kind of always has been for quite some time. They're all about immersing you kind of into the experience, and you got to applaud them for it. You know, they do find ways of doing it, which is fine. You know, you can immerse us all into the experience. But if you're gonna like improve it, at least have the option. So for those who don't want that particular thing, give us the option.
Right, man. Option. Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Options never go wrong with option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'd have that for like something for the kids. Like, for example, let's say you're playing split screen or something like that, and your kid wants to play with the little controllers and do all that. He can do that. Right. Let's say you had a busy day and you really don't feel like moving around. You just want to sit on the couch. Give us an option to use the controller. Give us that.
You know what? Like I said, at the end of the day, options are good. They're good for the gamer. They're good for the game. They're good for the company. Everyone walks away satisfied. You click whatever button you want to click to play, and you play how you want to play. Judzilla, I want to get to you on this. Listen, first of all, there are 3 names synonymous with, say, their name and new. The internet slows down to listen to what you're talking about. It's Mario, Zelda, and Metroid. 3 games that, after all of these years, 30 plus years, maybe even closer to 40, those names stand out like a gold bar in the middle of the road. Like, you would see that and be like, I'm robbing this gold bar. I'm taking it, right? Well, a new Zelda for the Switch, it was inevitable because it was a launch title. But I do like the fact that we might be getting some older Zelda titles that didn't get the love that they deserved. What are your takes on that?
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I am not a Nintendo person at all in any sense of the word. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. The only games I think I've played on Nintendo, well, favorite games, I guess, is Wave Race 64. And
I love that game.
Wicked, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Something else, I can't remember what the bloody hell it was now. But anyway, the point being, it's not for me. And to borrow off Mooch, don't knock it till you tried it. I don't want to know. I'm not interested. I do have actually a Game Boy Advance from about, I don't know, 1986 or something in my drawer. If anyone wants it, they're more than welcome to it. I put a picture of Twitter. But the thing is with those 3, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's like the tent poles of any console. You know, you think Halo, Forza, and Gears. You think, I'm going to blank on the Sony side now. That's embarrassing. What's the racing game?
Oh, Gran Turismo?
Gran Turismo, thank you, mate. Gran Turismo, the new Uncharted.
Trust me, it's been a while since there's been a good one, so I can understand why you forgot.
It's true, but you see them come in, and as a fan of that system, you know, on the Sony side, the Microsoft side, and the Nintendo side, you got to be pleased with seeing it. But for me, I got to be legitimate. I can't sit here and say I'm excited about anything Nintendo does. Then Nintendo don't for me.
Listen, that's listen again. Nintendo has a lot of us have started with that company, right? And like there was a poll on Twitter the other day that I answered. It was someone like, "Do you remember this?" And they showed a picture of how much the NES was with Rob the Robot. Now, back in those days, I got it for my 15th birthday, right? So it's now I look at it and say $139. That's nothing. I'll take two, right? But when I was 15 years old, I didn't have a job and I was getting $5 allowance from my pop per week. I was like, I'm never getting this goddamn system, you know. So you know, it's the price differential is unbelievable. But you know, listen, we all started with that, and as we grew as gamers, we moved on to other more adult themed, you know, systems, the PlayStation 4 with the way that they have their first party, their single player adult themed games. I really dig those. I know people say that they're cookie cuttered, but I just really like that. So some people drifted off to that. Then you have on the Xbox side where people drifted off to playing more FPS games. You know, you got your Halos, you know, you have your online games like your Gears, you know. So I can understand how some people would just drift away from Nintendo. It makes perfect sense. But Indy, I want to get your opinion on this because I know you just said in the chat you loved Wave Race 64, which was an incredible launch title, but we're talking about Zelda. So do you think, are you excited for them to release a new Zelda, but more specifically, bring back one of the older titles?
Sorry to disappoint on the Nintendo side, but unfortunately, I'm not excited about it. I actually, I actually sold my Switch quite recently. It's the second, so that sort of tells the story. But I really wanted to get back into Nintendo, so I got a Switch. And then you know, I had Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, and I didn't actually get Zelda for some reason. I didn't have enough time with it. I probably would have got that next if I'd have stayed with it, but I wasn't playing it enough. So yeah, I mean, I used to love the N64. It used to be one of my favorite consoles. I played like pretty much all the games on that. Wave Race was one of my favorites, but you know, all the others as well. So yeah, but like I just maybe nowadays it's maybe they aiming at a too younger audience or something, but yeah, I just couldn't get into it this time. And I've actually tried it twice because I got a 3DS like a few years back as well, and I played some of the older N64 games, which you can, like Diddy Kong Racing, you can actually get on the 3DS and stuff like that. Right. So I just tried, you know, I couldn't really get into that either. I sold that as well, and so I tried it again with the Switch. Didn't work out again. And the other thing I found annoying about the Switch is I felt it wasn't made that well, to be honest. I thought it was felt a bit plasticky, like it would easily break if you dropped it. The Joy-Cons, I found them too small and just like
they are tiny, dude.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I have to buy another controller now, like which is. They're crazy money. They always charge more than Nintendo for some reason. And yeah, like I think the only reason they're only bringing out they're redoing this Zelda is because unfortunately this is going to sound bad, but they haven't got many great games coming out, so they're probably looking to their archive and to rejuice some of their old stuff to fill a gap essentially. But yeah, that's I would love to love Nintendo still, but I just can't seem to get into them anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, so, well, listen, you know what? Yeah. This topic, listen, I'm always very when I do these shows, you know, I like to include everyone. If there's something important, like I'm not a PC gamer, but I would never shit on a PC gamer. You understand what I'm saying? Like I try to bring everyone in because there are people in the chat. Like a guy like Nintendo Direct, good dude, man. If you're not following him, please follow him on Twitter, sub his channel. He's what a genuine human being he is. I'm going to be on his show next week. I'm very excited for that. But he likes Nintendo, even though he's an Xbox guy first. Fine. He has Nintendo in his name, so he's a fan. Exactly. So I try to appeal to everyone. Sometimes the topics are a little bit of a miss. This one was, but let's move on to the next one. Now, Titan Drago. I think that this one is going to fill your gas tank with fire.
Okay.
All right, so let's go. Microsoft is offering an unlimited budget to the newly acquired studios for development of first-party titles, and this is a big deal for Team Xbox. Now, I hear somebody yelling in the background, Titan. I hope that's you.
It's me.
Okay, so let's go. We finally got a topic that you're fired up about. Listen, dude, we know Microsoft took the L in this generation due to Sony's magical marketing prowess. We know that their first-party games were second to none, and I'll be the first one to admit I loved playing every one of them. But Microsoft is not screwing around come generation next, because they doubled their studios in 2018, never seen done before in gaming, and now we're hearing with good sources that their budgets are basically unlimited. They have been given the carte blanche to say, make whatever you guys want to make as long as it's good. What are your takeaways from this information?
Well, let's start off with saying, hell yeah, I'm ready for this topic. Microsoft, let's say Microsoft took the L with first party lineup this generation. That I think we can all agree on.
Yes.
But as far like I'm a consumer, I want value. And you cannot tell me PlayStation has given you a better value this generation.
Yeah. Well said.
I don't know if you want to argue that with me. Good luck. I don't know. I'd really like to see some points on the other side. I'd really like to see that. But last night this was another topic I had a disagreement on with the panel of TSGP because Microsoft has shown me that they've taken the steps necessary to show me that they're ready to step up their first party lineup. It's like, how many studios do they gotta buy before people like believe in them? You know, it's like, to me, people have no faith in the world today. It's like, if they don't see it right in front of them right now, then they don't believe it until they see it, you know?
Right.
And there's a lot wrong with that. And I tend to have more faith, especially because especially when I see the puzzle pieces are there. All these devs are there. You just got to put it together now, right? But to me, it's like an unlimited budget says that it says this is in the dev's hands now, right? If the dev fails and makes a flop of a game, it's like, to me, it's not Microsoft's fault at this point. How can you blame Microsoft for giving them all the resources, all the time, and all the power they need to succeed? How can you do it?
It's kind of easy, but yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. It's like, just go out the track record. You know, since 2015, there hasn't really been anything for the Xbox that's really like, you know, stand out, right? All they had was Halo, Gears, and Forza, and those are already established games from the 360.
Correct.
But
there's really nothing
that's like
that
kind of
blows
downplaying those games, though, because you're saying just
not really downplaying them. Not really downplaying them because I'm giving them their props. They're already established in the market.
Okay,
they're established. You know what I'm saying? People know Microsoft for these three, but what do they know them for coming out of the Xbox One X and Xbox One? Halo, Gears, and Forza.
Right.
Same thing. What do you know Sony for with the PS4 this generation? You know, The Order. Uncharted 4. Well, actually, I like to say Uncharted. I'll say The Order, Detroit Become Human, right? Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding,
God of War.
God of War. Well, no, that's more of a sequel. But you know what I'm saying? There's different games. There's different releases. You know what I'm saying? Sony put out more games and they put out more effort towards their studios.
Microsoft you're talking about new games?
Yeah, I was talking about new. I wasn't talking about like established stuff. You know, it's easy to build upon something established. They already have the name out there. Something that's not doesn't have a name, and you've taken a gamble and putting that out there and building upon it, that's actually showing that you're working towards the future. Now, Microsoft coming out and saying we have an unlimited budget, again, it's fine, it's cool, but at the end of the day, we're still waiting, are we not? We haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
So we have to see it to believe it.
I mean,
that's one of my thing with faith comes in. It's like,
how can you have faith when their attitude has been telling you the opposite of what
that's the whole point of faith, you know? Those people that are religious, you know, they believe in God. They've never seen him, but they believe. You know, that's the whole point of faith.
Let me just say this: we have to. Okay, now you know, as podcast professionals, we all are on this panel, right? We do shows, we talk about games, we have our opinions about it, and we have information that has been provided from us from different websites and different, you know, talking with one another. We know for a fact, and this has been confirmed by numerous sources, that Terry Myerson, known as the human roadblock, and I have that on good information inside. Actually, Boom doesn't have a lot of insider information, but I actually got an insider piece of information that he was called at Microsoft the human roadblock. Why is that? Because he cock blocked everything Phil wanted to do. Right. Okay. Now, if you look at what the monies that are being spent now, as opposed to what they were being spent 2015, 2016, 2017, before Phil got the official, spot next to the, Satya Nadella, we know that their budget for games was really, really small. So they did what they did what they could do with what they had. Okay, and some of it worked, some of it did not. Now we're moving into the next gen, and I can say this as an Xbox first guy, I have never been more excited for the brand than I am in the last in the last 12 months or 11 months, all the way going back to January 1st, 2018. We know a lot of information. We know that they doubled their first party studios in 1 year. You have to, think about that for a second. They got 7 new studios. They bought 6. They made 1, and 1 is a quadruple A that may be working on 3 or 4 games. So yes, I would like the games now. Absolutely, 100% want them now. But I am willing to wait to see what they're going to bring.
You have to also take one thing into account too, and this is going back to Matt Booty. Back when they first announced this, right? When they got the studios, they said they were looking for AA studios, right? To boost Game Pass. Remember, their main focus was Game Pass. So again, them buying these developers and buying these studios and building the library is fine. That's good. But you have to show us that you're going to put the effort in. Because remember, they launched the Xbox One X just off of hype alone. Pretty much world's most powerful console. There was nothing on that console that really substantiated, anything about it, right? It was just stuff that was already on the market that was established, whether it be a Halo or Gears or Forza. It was really that, they relied on enhanced games. That's not how you launch a new piece of hardware. You got to have something that shows,
I agree.
Hardware, because remember, the Xbox One X, we haven't even seen the true potential of the Xbox One X, sadly, because there's no game that's pushing it to its brink.
I got Red Dead 2 is pushing that game pretty far.
It's multiplat though, and with multiplats, the problem with multiplats is why I never use multiplats in arguments is the fact that multiplats are always held back due to parity reasons in general. They always hold back something because they want everything to look good on both particular sides. Yeah, it might look a little sharper in particular things, right? They'll have a few things look better, but it's not blowing you away, so to speak. It's small stuff.
I don't know. I've heard many firsthand accounts say people have bought Xbox One X's just because it's so far leaps and bounds ahead of PlayStation 4 Pro. I've heard a lot of firsthand accounts on that.
I'm pretty sure these same people who said that are the same people saying you're not a real Xbox dude if you don't buy 2 Xbox One X. so that's why I feel those particular people in those particular comments. But I don't comment on those. It's okay, whatever.
I don't know. I just take it for what I hear, and those are the things that I've heard. And
yeah, it's fine. I mean,
because I don't have a PlayStation. I don't got a PlayStation Pro. So I just all I have is to go off is what I hear. When it comes to the comparisons and Digital Foundry and stuff like that.
Man, I tell you what, just get a PS4. You don't even have to get a Pro. Just get a PS4 and go play Detroit Become Human and Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure you'll buy the rest of their games after those.
2 great games in my top 10 of 2018.
I'm telling you, just that one. And I know Mr. Boom will tell you exactly what I'm talking about, but that one particular scene with Marcus and the guys where you have the option to either sing or give up, so to speak, at the end. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So I gotta say.
Well, listen, let me just say this real quick. A big shout out to Chaos Theory with the $2 super chat. He says, mooching early. My birthday is January 25th, just saying. And that's great because Resident Evil 2 may be gifted to you. Who knows? But listen, Judzilla, before I get to you, I just want to read something that I found very interesting regarding this topic. During a recent podcast, renowned YouTuber Boogie2988 recalled a conversation he had with Mike Ybarra of Microsoft. And this is this is exactly what he said. Mike, said, we basically went in there to those companies and said, what project do you want to make? And they are like, what's our budget? And he said, I don't think you understand. That's not our question. Our question is, what games do you want to make? We are Microsoft and we have the budget. Just want to know what game you want to make. What are your wildest dreams? And that is where we get the unlimited budget information from. Now, Judzilla, with what I just talked about, what we've just been talking about for the last 10 or 15 minutes, is this a big deal for the Microsoft platform, that we know that these companies, all they need to do is just make a good, big budgeted game, and they have the backing of Microsoft to do it? Are you excited as a fan of the brand?
Definitely, yeah. There's a lot of points to get there from the last 10 minutes. Really good talk. But I'm going to address a few things. I'm going to be a voice of the chat here. I'm reading some of you guys' comments, and I agree with a lot of them. So, Ryan, you're right. When you launch a new piece of hardware, you got to have something to come out with it. But you say Xbox One X didn't have anything, but what did the Pro have? And you look at the track record of what Xbox has done with the X and the track record of what Sony's done with the Pro since they both launched. And I think, with all the enhanced games and everything.
That's a good question. And you just got to go back to what they said. Remember, Sony never advertised the PS4 Pro as a 4K beast, now did they?
Yeah, they did. If you watch the Champions League,
they didn't support it as a 4K.
I'm telling you, mate, honestly, the banners on the side of the field, it says 4K Super Gaming. It's all over the place in Europe, believe me. But anyway, listen, there's no need to get into that back and forth. I'm just making a point. But
no, I'm just saying, back when they revealed the PS4 Pro, they talked about it, they just told you that the PS4 Pro was simply a system to take advantage of 4K displays. Because remember, your base PS4 did not work for your 4K displays.
Yeah, that's right.
It was made also for VR. You forgot about that.
Yeah, you also had Mark Cerny on stage trotting back and forth telling us about how the graphics work and everything. But anyway, I agree with your point. I just think, it goes both ways. As far as Microsoft and the new studios, and again, they do a lot. We need to wait and see what are they actually doing. They have written off this generation. That's it. It's gone. All this investment you will see in the next gen. And it won't be Meyerson holding the budget for Donny D's new Italian suit. It's just that simple.
I mean, I don't know. It's all promises and speculation at this point. It's like actions speak louder than words when it comes to that. Pretty much.
Absolutely, mate. But again, like Boom said, they've doubled their studio. Everything that they've been asked to do, they've pretty much done. Okay, so they wanted to fix the power. They've done that. They've done things like EA Access and Game Pass and all these cool things in the adaptive controller we're going to talk about a bit later. All these things have come to fruition since the management has changed, and that's all we're seeing. So when you've got quadruple A studios and triple A studios, damn right, it's going to take years to see some of that result, and you'll see that in 2020 when they do launch the next Xbox, and I'm sure Sony will have some cool stuff as well. On the unlimited budget thing, I don't know. I don't think everyone should get too wrapped up in that. I mean, I work for a multi-billion-dollar company. It's absolutely enormous. And you think they'd have money to piss up the wall, honestly, but it all comes down to shareholders and, making sure that the budget's right and they're making the savings and the sales and everything. So
what about the time restraint, real quick? Sorry to cut you off, but what about the time restraints given on developers? Is that a bigger factor or?
Yes, it's true. I mean, that's the other part about budget. If you talk about budget, you can either talk about economics or you can talk about how much time you're going to give someone to do it. God of War is a fantastic example. There's no doubt that it's that good because it was 5 years in development. You're looking at a game that's absolutely is pushing triple to quadruple A quality. There's a reason for that. That time budget was massive. You don't tend to get that these days. So if they're going in and saying, what games do you want to make? And hey, take 4 to 5 years to do it. Yeah, it's going to cost some money, but the time is the most important thing, and they're going to come out with quality.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You mentioned something about time, and I kind of just want to, add to what you're saying. You see, you know how as gamers and as podcast professionals, we'll see a company possibly on the way out, like they're on the ropes, and we're like, Microsoft should buy them. Well, if you sit back in your chair just for a second and you strategically look at what they've been buying and who they've been purchasing, the games are going to be coming sooner than later. Look, like Ninja Theory is a perfect example. They were already working on something. Microsoft was in the process of buying. They saw it and they said, we have to, we want that as a game for our console. They buy them, right? So they buy Ninja Theory. We hear Obsidian had already been in the works with a particular game, which we're going to get unveiled at the Game Awards, right? So this is not, they're not starting it. The game has already been in production. Microsoft buys them. In Exile, another one. They have a game already in the works. In fact, they have 2 games in the works. One is going to be coming out very soon, and they have the one that's going to be exclusive for Microsoft as a first party. They buy them. So I think what we're that whole conversation with where we're looking for AA games, Microsoft knows that Playground Games, 343 Studios, the Gears developer, and the rest of their mainstay AAA first party games are going to be making those massive games, and we know we're going to have to wait for the Gears 5 and we're getting next year, and Halo Infinite, and whenever they decide to release the next Forza, which should be Forza Motorsport 8 by all accounts. Having these smaller companies, trust me, I don't think they're done buying. I think that they're looking for a particular company that has a game that's close to being done. You got to remember, they lost this generation. They want to have a launch lineup like nobody's business, and they want a couple of new IPs as well as some established ones in there as well. So, I'll leave it at that. Hello?
Yeah.
With the mic drop.
Listen, you know what? I don't want a mic drop because we still have 15 minutes left of the show, so I don't want a mic drop. I'll do that towards the end. But anyway, Judd, that was a great point, dude. I want to thank you for your insight. Indie Gamer, I want to get your takes on this. First of all, it sounds like Microsoft is going to use their financial power to possibly create the biggest Xbox exclusive lineup for the Scarlet. This explains why Microsoft is silent about what they're up to with their current studios. What are your takeaways on this unlimited budget shenanigans? And as a fan of the brand, are you super stoked to see what they're going to do with it?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited about that as a comment, but obviously I don't think it's to be taken too literally. Actually, unlimited. As
right, they're not going to spend $1 billion on the next.
Exactly. That would be pretty.
This game cost $836 million.
They'll be ready.
We're not doing that.
30 years.
And flopped.
They sell 2 copies.
I love it. So oh God, you throw me. Sorry. But I think they're basically just saying we're gonna give it everything. We're gonna, the thing that excites me the most is things like, you got Ninja Theory, who are already incredible developers, innovators. Even on a small budget, making Hellblade, which is absolutely amazing game. What can they do with the extra budget and time? That's just surely going to be amazing. That just giving them the playground and the room to do what they want to do, really. But yeah, it does excite me a lot. But I think everyone else has cut into it quite well. But generally, I just take away that it's exciting news, not to be taken literally, as we say, but definitely to be something to be excited about, I would say.
Boom, I've got one quick follow-up on that, if I may.
Sure.
This is something Mooch says quite a lot, and he says, these guys out there, they need to get to work. And when you talk about going in with an unlimited budget or a massive amount of money, I think of some of the stuff I work on. If you come and just funnel money to me, I will spend that money.
Yeah.
And I'll take however long, I think it takes to develop whatever I'm working on. So if they are giving these guys unlimited budgets or massive budgets, they really have to have that managed correctly, or we're going to see, other things like Scalebound and real flops, things taking 5-6 years, and you've got nothing out the other end. So
that is true. That is a really good point. Yeah, you do need constraints around. You just want to. It would be too you're given too much time. Like you say, you use it all. You'll fanny around basically. you'll test things out, and you know, it sometimes if you set yourself a target to whatever task you're going to do, you get it done by that time. And it doesn't mean it's not necessarily going to be any worse, but I think they're just trying to say that we're giving it everything basically in a matter of in a way of hyperbolically saying it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but would you say this is standard now for everybody to be excited, like in a way? But I'm saying crazy budget. Don't you think people are going to be setting a standard now? Now they said this.
Definitely. Yeah, that's maybe the scariest thing about it, because now expectations are going to be high.
Yeah, it's like, listen, if you're going to use these words, right? You're going to use this wordplay, then make sure you have something.
But no, here's my thing. Here's my thing with it. Here's my thing with it. As long as they're honest about it. If they're giving them, you know, all the time they need and everything they need, then if the developer fails, like you're a developer, right? Here on what's your name, buddy? Judd.
Yeah. Judd.
If the company you worked for, you know, whoever was overseeing them or whatever, gave you all the time, the money, and you guys came up with this plan and made this game and it flopped, would you personally blame, like, you know, if you worked for Microsoft, like, would you blame Microsoft? No, you'd blame yourself, right? Like, this shouldn't fall on Microsoft if these games flop. This is all on the developer at this point.
Right. Very true. It just goes on the advertisement. You're saying we have unlimited budget, X amount of things, and then we wait, right? Let's say 5 years, and we get it, you know, finally the reveal, and it's like, oh, it's Super Lucky Tales Part 2. You know, like we need something big.
I don't think that'll happen. Maybe one of their companies is working on something like that, one of their smaller ones, but you know,
I'm just throwing it out there, like you know, possibly. You know,
just to answer that question, would it be on me or on Microsoft? Yeah, you're right. It would definitely be on me. However, you need good management to set project plans up. For example,
and that's what happened with Scalebound. Yeah, I know it's been talked about in the chat by a lot of people. I know, Judd, you just said you don't think that the IP is dead, and I agree with you on that. I don't think the IP is dead. I think what happened is exactly what you're saying, is that there was a mismanagement. Basically, they were funneling the money, and no one was checking on the progress of the work.
Right. And we've had it recently, Boom, as well. That's the other thing. You know, people think this is an old thing and it's not going to happen again.
Is this still a trademark?
Yeah, I think it is.
They still have it trademarked because
yes, they own the trademark for that they own the IP.
There's hope then you might see it for Scarlet. That'd be cool if they go and go back and really push that game on Scarlet and have that be like a launch title, so to speak. Because they need something massive. They need something big for the Scarlet for sure.
You know, Ryan, to respond to your question earlier, like, I'll tell you this much, and I promise you, if the initiative is working on Super Lucky's Tales 2 I will eat my Xbox. Okay?
I'm just saying, like, it's all about wordplay. Remember, it's wordplay they're using here. It's like, oh, this is unlimited budget, right? This is the biggest reveal for Xbox, and it's like, oh, you get to the event. Super Lucky Tales Part 2.
Yes.
Just make sure you get
microtransactions.
Exactly. Like, you don't want that. You want something to really push the boundaries of play. That is very true, though. You really want them to push the boundaries of play, and that just seems to be lacking very hard in their end. Like, Sony does push the boundaries of play. They got, a lot of new IPs. Nintendo, is Nintendo. They'll rely on nostalgia, but they'll also have something, new. Microsoft, again, we just wait. We're still waiting to this day for something to like blow us away.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to deliver. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not sure who said it, but they understand that this generation is an L, and they know why they were. They put themselves in a position. There was a lot of mismarketing, a lot of a lot of talk. Too many people talking about the Xbox One. Donnie D didn't help by saying, "Hey, listen, I got a system for you, 360." It's just, they understand where they made the mistakes. Phil Spencer, since taking the reins, listen, I don't know Phil personally. I would love 5 minutes just and a handshake. Just be like, hey, dude, listen, what you're doing is just amazing. And he's done everything he said, and he's even though it's taking longer than most of us would like we want it now, right? Like Veruca from Willy Wonka. I want it now, right? That's how we are, right? We want it now.
Don't care how.
Well, listen, if no one else has anything on this particular topic, I want to move on to the next one because it includes Microsoft and Gears of War screenwriter Scott Fraser has been tapped to write Universal's Gears of War adaptation. Individuals with knowledge to the project exclusively tell The Wrap Fraser's previous writings credit include Collide and XXX Return of Xander Cage. Now, Universal has had the rights and they've optioned for him all the way back in 2016. But why I'm excited for this? Because when you talk about video games, you talk about movies, you immediately go to the toilet to throw up because most of them are shit. But
yeah, just like a Resident Evil.
Yeah, oh God, please don't get me started. Anyway, Dylan Clark, who was the producer of Planet of the Apes, which is an amazing trilogy, and the movie Oblivion, will produce for his Dylan Clark Productions alongside, and this is why I have confidence, Rod Ferguson is co-creator of this film, and he has a big say in what goes on. Now, I want to get your opinion on whether or not you're excited for the film, but more importantly, that can be answered with a yes or no. What I want to know, what I wanted to hear from the chat is who would you cast as Marcus Phoenix, Cole, Damian Bard, and Dominic Santiago? Who would you cast?
I mean, boom, it's Hollywood. You already know they're going to cast The Rock as Marcus Phoenix.
No.
You know what? You know what? I said someone had a poll out there, and I actually answered it. I think Batista is going to get that role because he looks like Marcus Phoenix.
I was just going to say that. I was like, I'll go with a fellow wrestler. Batista.
Nah, they'll go by star power to give it to The Rock. Trust me.
So listen, Tyler, I want to go to you, dude. I don't know if you have if you have everyone that you'd like to see cast, but who would be your main cast member for Marcus? Would it be Guardians of the Galaxy's?
Yeah, it would absolutely have to be him. Because I think you're right. I think like with a little makeup, that dude could be a spot on image. Like
they put side by side images, dude, and even without makeup, he does look like Marcus.
Even
Phoenix.
Without it, I haven't seen those, but man, I could imagine. It's almost like The Witcher. They cast that one dude. What was his name?
The guy Superman.
He looks like Orlando Bloom to me.
Henry Cavill.
That guy looks like Orlando Bloom to me, kind of, you know. But as far as this one goes, yeah, Marcus Phoenix, definitely wrestler, definitely Batista.
Well, you need big people.
I mean, all these wrestlers are breaking out into movies too. Because remember, John Cena's in that Bumblebee movie. So
yeah, I actually like John Cena as an actor. He's actually quite funny. I heard he's an asshole in real life, which sucks, but in the films he's funny. He's been in quite a few. But
you know what? Do Terry Crews and have like a reverse. What was that movie where the white dude was a black dude?
Oh yeah, white chicks.
Well, you know what? Listen. Usually, as the host, I don't answer the questions, but I'm so excited because I'm such a huge Gears fan. I would say that he would have to play Coltrane. Yes. He's a perfect rendition of a real life because he's Coltrane is over the top animated, right? He always has these one-liners. Terry Crews is such an incredible actor. He's hilarious. Anything he does, you're just like, wow, you're laughing. So that would be my pick. I don't have a pick for Dominic Santiago. I don't have one for him yet. And Bard, you just need to get someone that's a bit of an a-hole, that's a cocky a-hole. But do we have anyone that, because they have to look when these four monsters are standing next to the average person, they have to look like midgets. And I think that's how they need to do this film, because when you're playing the game and you see how big they are in their armors and their arms are just so massive, they're gonna have to be big dudes. Like you couldn't hire a Boom to do Dominic Santiago. You know what I'm saying? I'm only 6 foot 215.
I thought you had the guns, though. I heard you had the guns.
Nah, my guns are listen. They're not as big. I'm getting older. Okay, I'm doing Pilates. I don't do any weightlifting anymore, so they're not as big. But I'm trying to get in shape.
Love it.
All right. So listen, Ryan, who would you cast, and are you excited for the film?
Well, looking at the track record of films when it comes to movies in terms of video games, not really.
Nah,
Doom,
I'm right there with you.
Ruined the entire love from that Doom.
Yeah, that was bad.
I don't know what they were thinking with that. No love went into Mortal Kombat, even though nostalgia keeps it alive. But, nothing really went into Mortal Kombat. They thought it was a flawless victory, yet these people are getting hit like 5 times. I don't know about that. But as far as the movie, I mean, again, odds are you might end up getting like an expendable cast. They might just cast all these, people that are known for other shit. Like you might get The Rock, you might get Vin Diesel, and a few others. So.
Well, country gentleman in the chat says, yeah, Cena would be a good Braid. I don't know, how do you pronounce his name? Braid? Cena? Yeah, no.
John Cena.
No, not John Cena. The Gears of War character, Damon Braid.
Damon Baird.
Baird, yeah. Okay, I was butchering the poor man's name, even though he's not a real character in real life. Anyway, I actually agree with that because John Cena is dye his hair, right? Give him the goggles on the head. He is a cocky MF, so I think he actually would. He's big and he's a big dude, right? He seems. I hate to say this, John. I don't know John Cena, but he can pull off the whiny, crybaby type if he wanted to. So yeah, that's actually a really good pick. All right, so Ryan, anything else you'd like to add, my friend?
Nah, not really.
Okay, listen, again, some topics hit a home run, some are a bunt. Then this might be a bunt. But Judge Zilla, I want to get your opinion on this.
Just like I'm not really. Again, it's just the underwhelming selection of movies that we've gotten. That have been made.
It's true. Listen, and you're 100% right.
So underwhelming.
When you have 20 movies come out and one of them are decent and the rest are all flops. When you say video games and movies, yeah, you do kind of get a little okay, I'll see it when I see it.
Because 9 times out of 10, they tend to do more harm than good to the franchise.
I agree. I absolutely
look what happened with Resident Evil. Resident Evil was like, nobody was talking about Resident Evil.
6 of those films. I was like, when is it going to end? Crikey!
Did you see the ending Did you see the last one?
Yeah, I saw them all, dude. It's just
Lord, the last one. They literally just like they played all of us like idiots. They was like, apparently the chick Alice was a clone this whole time. I'm like, what?
Yeah, spoiler alert, folks. The movie's 8 years old. You know what I'm saying?
It's 8 years old, but trust me, if you ain't see it then, you ain't gonna see it now.
That's right. Even on cable, trust me, you're not gonna want to watch.
This is one of those movies you look past. If it's on cable, you're like, oh look, trash. You go to the next one. So, that's just how it is, though. There's just too many movies in here. Just I don't know. I can't really get behind. Like there was even talks of Sony doing one for The Last of Us, and I was like,
don't do it.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. Keep it as a game. Move on. Leave it where it is. You got something special there. Build upon that, that special thing, and not ruin it with something stupid that Hollywood can exploit and fuck up. I don't want to see that. So
yeah, I agree. So Judge Zilla, what are your takes on the possible film, and do you have any ideas for cast members?
Yeah, I do. I think I'll give you my opinion, but first, I think there's a superstar needs calling out in the chat because he's beaten all of us. We're all talking shit here. Cyber Gunter has given us Danny DeVito to be cast. And for me,
that's awesome.
I love it.
That's fantastic. Can I tell you
Cyber Gunter, good dude. If you're not following him on Twitter, man, follow him. He is one of the best community members on that platform. He supports everyone. That's a great pick. But I don't think it's going to happen.
It's a great pick, and he's a top guy, and
Cyber's awesome.
I think DeVito could basically pull off any one of those roles. You know what I'm saying? It could be like the mini version.
Just give him a lancer with a chainsaw, and we're good.
He's a chameleon.
It's a film version of Gears Pop, so that would be perfect for him, I reckon. But on the film itself, I think you guys have all got it right. I mean, Ryan's right about films that have come from gaming. If you look at some of the games we've had, there's been so much potential. You have friends and family that think you're weird because you're a gamer, and then a movie gets made, and you're like, yes, I'll be able to show you what this is really like, and then it comes out and it's such a cack, and you're thinking, oh, that's really good. So I think they need to kind of be pretty careful with it, not to make it too much of a joke. I think Bautista as Marcus would be amazing. I'm in for Terry Crews as Coltrane.
Yes,
I think that would be fantastic. The other two, I'm not entirely sure, but do it good. Take some time, put some proper money into it. Think of what happened with Halo with the studio battles. Imagine that, or the Mass Effect universe. Doing that properly in movies would be absolutely incredible. So take your time and get the casting right. But definitely Bautista's got to be my pick for Marcus.
Yeah, I agree. And Mr. Glass in the chat has something actually really interesting to say. He says Ron Perlman as General Ram. Like, I didn't even think about casting the bad guys, but that's a great pick.
That's definitely a great pick.
I look what he did in Hellboy. I mean, the guys, he's just that guy's a rock star.
The new screenshot, the poster reveal for Hellboy.
Dude, it looks so good.
Dude, that looked. Oh, that's how you should look. That's
absolutely. But listen. Last but certainly not least, Indie Gamer, I want to get your take on this. Are you excited for the film, and who would you cast as one of the members for your movie if you were the director?
Like as everyone has said, tie-ins to game tie-in for movies are never that great. No, it's such a disappointment. Every time though, you're like, I'll give it a try. Like Judd said, you show the family. Oh, it's like the worst one I think I've seen not too long ago was Tekken. I don't know if you've seen that one. That's horrendous.
God, don't bring that up, please. Don't do it.
Terrible.
Yoshimitsu's supposed to be a robot. He's literally wearing a mask. Like, what is going on here?
Well, that proves something though. That proves that you watched it quite a way in because he's not in it at the start.
Quite a way in, walk out.
I finished the whole thing. They had so many incomplete storylines in there. Even like they even try to work in the scene from the beginning of Tekken 5 where Heihachi supposedly dies. You know, when Kazuya throws him into the jacks. I'm like, come on, man, y'all trying too hard.
It's horrendous, isn't it? Like, Heihachi, if you want the biggest laugh is Heihachi, that is a bad hairdo. Just get away with it in the game.
They got Shang Tsung to play Heihachi Machine, by the way. Throw that out there. Shang Tsung. Guy who plays Shang Tsung. But
really? I didn't realize.
Yeah, you know who that was. That was the guy who plays Shang Tsung.
I thought he was awful, that guy.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Well, I thought he was horrendous. But as far as people who would play Marcus, it's a tricky one. Bring back Jean-Claude Van Damme from the dead or something. I'm just looking at someone here, actually. I don't know, Chuck Norris from the dead. That would be awesome. No, I don't know. It's a tricky one. Like if you've been genuine about it. Like,
Street Fighter movie.
Oh yeah,
he was in the
movie.
There you go. I should answer your question right there. The Street Fighter.
He had his chance.
So listen, obviously we went down a path that's dark, and we need to turn around, and we got lost. That's what happened with the topic.
That was a good little switch off, though. It was a good little topic. We had a small topic. We had a lot of laughs and jokes and some cat involvement.
I forgot to bring the popcorn to leave the trail, so now we're lost. God damn it! Listen, let's move on to the next topic because I think this one is a meaty one, and it's probably going to end the show because there's a lot to talk about. Red Dead Redemption 2's online launches, the beta, of course, November 27th. And Red Dead Online's Battle Royale mode just gives you bows and knives, and there's a ton to unpack here. Rockstar will launch Red Dead Online in beta form on November 27th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and initially be accessible only to the Ultimate Edition owners of Red Dead Redemption. I'm one of them, and guess what, folks? I still haven't played it. The following day, the beta will open up to those who played Red Dead Redemption 2 on the first day of release, which was October 26th. And on Thursday, on November 29th, those who played the game in its first 3 days of release, between October 26th through the 29th, will get access. Then on Friday, like I said, there's a lot to unpack here, November 30th, online multiplayer will open up to all Red Dead Redemption players. Now, Titan, we've heard a lot about online. We've heard a lot about Battle Royale. We've heard bows and knives, no guns. There's a lot of drama on the internet regarding gold bricks and how you're going to earn credits. It seems to be that maybe Rockstar kind of didn't do what they were supposed to do with the online. I mean, right now with what they're offering seems like an afterthought, and that's considering the quality and how amazing. I mean, you talk about Red Dead Redemption 2, you hear people talking game of the universe, right? And I wouldn't be arguing with them because the game is an amazing title, and it's single player, story driven, adult themed game that, you know, sold gangbusters. What are your takeaways on what they're doing with the online, and are you interested to try it?
All right. Well, I have tried it.
Okay, very good.
Red Dead, I agree. Red Dead Redemption 2, it's like it's like game of the year, toe to toe with me with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yep.
If you pick either one of those, it's really a coin flip to me. It's like it's just one of those two games. I don't think any other game has even close to the, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the level. They're just on another stratosphere of level as far as games this generation. But I'm loving the Red Dead 2 single player. I played the beta, but my problem is it's got your usual beta problems. I played with Salty and his buddy and who's also my buddy as well. But we're jumping in and we're making the posse, and one joins and one gets kicked, and one joins, one gets kicked. It's so frustrating. It's like literally unplayable right now unless you find one of those like you'll go to places and you can play like your standard, PvP modes or whatever. But other than that, the posse is broken. Trying to roam around as a posse is very broken. You know what? Like you said, we've heard a lot of stuff about it, but we've also heard some lies. If you guys remember, they said there wasn't going to be a BR mode.
They did say that, correct, sir?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And you know what? To me, because it's like 32 players. It's 32 players in the BR. 32? Like, really? Rockstar, really? Battle Royale 32? That just doesn't make it. Like, no wonder they didn't advertise this having a BR mode. It's because 32 men, that's just the last man standing game. This ain't Battle Royale. 32 players means the map isn't BR sized. It means you're not jumping off a train to loot and such. 32 people just isn't enough to be considered like true Battle Royale, in my opinion. It's more like a baby Royale. Like we got baby Royale for you guys. Here you go. Hey, you know what? That mode ain't even out yet, so that got me raging a little bit, and maybe that's why Assassin's Creed Odyssey has the slight edge over Red Dead 2 for me. But we'll see. But you know what? Assassin's Creed Odyssey doesn't even have multiplayer, so that it's so tough when it comes to comparing those two games.
No, I agree with you. And you know what? I have to say, we finally know that he's awake, because he started out with talking regular, and now he's getting to his normal voice, which is screaming, which is great. This is what I've been waiting for as a host. So thank you for that.
People keep calling me Mooch. Well, if I'm gonna be like Mooch, someone's got to give me something.
Yeah, that's right. Hashtag give me a gift. Hashtag why is he yelling? Anyway, listen, Ryan, I want to get your take on this. Listen, we just talked about it briefly. There are a lot of problems with this. I haven't played it myself. I will admit that. I actually didn't buy the game for the BR mode or for online, for that matter. I bought it for the single player game, which of course I'm enjoying. What are your takeaways on what they're doing with this? And do you think this kind of needed a little bit more time in the oven before releasing?
Oh, it definitely did. I was playing this with a friend last night, and I literally had to bail on him. Like, it was around 1 o'clock. I had to get up. I was like, I had to make sure I was get up for this. But we played a little bit of it. The posse system is indeed broken. Right off the bat, they asked for $200, in game for you to even create a posse, which is ridiculous. And on top of that, you can't even enter the world by yourself. Now, you could do that in GTA 5, where you can just launch the online and not necessarily be bothered by anybody. You just be in your own passive mode, or just you and your world online. Right. There's nothing like that. There's no option like that. So immediately, as soon as you launch, you can just jump in and be sworn by people, who are in the posse, just going around killing people, trying to get XP. And it's stupid. I don't like that at all. This whole Battle Royale mode, again, who really is going to go to Rockstar for a Battle Royale mode when you have so many others doing it so much better? As much as Call of Duty gets flack, that Battle Royale mode is the better one, for sure.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's the better one for sure. You look at it, obviously more thought went into theirs than a few others. But, I mean, Battle Royale for Red Dead? These maps aren't really designed for that, I don't think.
I honestly don't think Battle Royale for Grand Theft Auto 5 would have worked, let alone Red Dead.
Of course, yeah, definitely wouldn't have worked. And
I had higher hopes than you guys for the Battle Royale, but when they said they weren't going to do it, I was like, well, throw that out the window.
Right, and then all of a sudden, by the way, Battle Royale coming out this day. You're like, I thought you said no. But,
okay. When you say it out loud like that, you think that this was kind of just slapped together at the last minute because obviously Battle Royale is the hot, the hot ticket right now.
Yep.
Yeah, and
you hit the nail on the head right there, man.
But you know what? You know what's the most telling part about it? I'm surprised Titan didn't bring this up. I don't know if you paid attention to this, but you know how you go to the store, Titan, you can buy stuff. The most telling thing about this is how you guys remember. I think it was Star Wars Battlefront 1. Remember how everybody gave a flag for how crappy the customization was in the game?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking. They want you to be level 60 prestige for a damn coat.
Oh God.
I did not know that. I did not know that. I didn't say it because I didn't know it.
Go to the store and go look at through the little pamphlet, the little catalog, and look at the suits. They want you to be level 60. Some want you to be level 40. I'm like, all this for a damn jacket?
Wow. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? What's the point? That is the most
linear
thing I've ever seen. No thought went into that. And there's prestiges in the game, and there's like 100 level in total. You know, they're really trying to be like GTA Online, but GTA did it proper. You know, there wasn't really no prestiging. It was just, you just keep playing to your heart's content. You just go to these higher levels. Ain't no real big deal. But that's exactly what they wanted to do. They clearly wanted to build this world based off of what they got, or the reception they got from GTA 5. Because they have you have the ability to buy these little gold nuggets, which is basically like shark cards.
Pretty much, yes, exactly.
The
they just called something different. Yeah.
And everything, it's crazy because all our worst fears have come true. I know a lot of people are talking about horses and sheds and all that stuff that you can buy. They literally had that as an option. Now you can buy horses like this. That's disgusting. Good. It's disgusting. I don't like that. It's nah.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. A couple of weeks ago, Rockstar Games, if anyone in the gaming media or in our circles that we run in would have said anything negative, we would have got jumped, right? Like, how dare you talk about Rockstar? And this is very, very unlike them to behave in this manner, to put out something cheap and it's right away. It's a cash grab for sure. There's just no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
And we knew that the shark card system would eventually get in there because
we just didn't know how. Right.
Yeah, we're right. Because obviously, listen, regardless of how much GTA made the 5, we're going to remember that game has sold over 100 million copies, which is literally unheard of. It's never been done before in gaming. Yeah. Like I say this as a joke almost all the time. All of us on this panel have 4 copies of it. 3 of them we didn't know we bought. Yeah. Right, they're somewhere hidden. Like, oh, where did this come from? Oh, I guess I bought it. That's how many times we all bought the thing. So we know that they want to make their money on the back end, and whatever they spent on to make GTA 5, that the shark card thing, the online has quadrupled 5, 6, 7 times the amount of money it took to make the game. So they're making money hand over fist. So we didn't know how it was going to happen.
I think we kind of knew, but we just it was just our excitement kind of put a veil over our eyes, because we just went into it, willingly. Because let's be real here, Rockstar is just known for quality, right?
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
And for them to just launch this beta like this, right, and just it's so. It doesn't even feel like they did anything, just it's so bare bones. So
over the weekend, they're 2 interns. Hey guys, listen, do me a favor. Oh, you're not going anywhere. You're not getting paid. Work this out. See you Monday morning.
It's terrible. I don't understand that at all.
Okay, boss. You want coffee before you go?
$800. Boom. $800. Actually, $900 for a damn horse. And if you want the variant of that horse, which is the fastest horse in the game, the what's the name of it? I forgot the name of it. It's the white horse, basically. But they want $900 in game for that horse, right? If you want the variant, you have to pay actual microtransactions for.
Jesus.
Which is gold nuggets for it, and it's ridiculous. And I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean it's a shame because obviously the game is such a quality title. It's on everyone's game of the year list. Everyone's still playing it. I'm in getting close to the end of chapter 4. I heard chapter 5 and 6 are bananas. So
you didn't beat the story yet?
No, because I actually been playing like a crack fiend, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I have 1,020 gamer score out of 1040, and I've been playing for the last 5 days to unlock the last achievement, and I can't get it to unlock. So it's
are you being honorable or are you being a bandit?
In what?
In the story mode, like, are you
Oh,
honored?
I'm playing it like I did as a cop. I'm totally honorable. Do I help everybody?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're in for a good ending.
Yeah, no, I stop to help everybody. I don't murder unless you're in a position where you have no choice. That to get into a shootout like the one in one of the towns where you just really just wiped out the entire town. I would not do that on my own.
Yeah. Jay Fonz, shout out to Jay Fonz, but he would tell you, because me and him, he played it too, but he'll tell you that you play honorably, and as you get to like chapter 6, you start getting a little bit of recollection of a few things that happened earlier that you didn't even notice.
Oh,
so
that's what I'm
paying close attention, because you're gonna be like, oh my god, wow, this happened,
and that's what you're saying is why this is even more sad. That we have this quality title, a game of the generation, game of the year. Everyone's having fun, everyone's telling stories, and then this comes out and it's so half-assed, and it's so like thrown together that it just kind of takes away from how great the game actually is.
What's telling about it too is that you always have those apologists. They'll say, well, it's just a beta. It's like, guys, no. It's not the fact that it's a beta. It's the fact that they just threw it out here like this for the sake of throwing it out here without even thinking, maybe they will react kind of weird to this option. They didn't think that through. They just threw it out there for the sake of throwing it out there.
Also, it's like how long after the game is released that a month later or something? It's like the game's been out for a month too. Like that's not a real excuse that it's a beta. The game's been out a month.
Mm-hmm. So I don't understand people at all.
But it's really weird, Boom, that you said you were playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because my wife got me that game for Black Friday, and I started playing it, and it was like a mistake because man, I can't seem to go back to Red Dead 2. I'm
it's that good, dude. It's like I said, I think I have 147 hours in it, something like that. And I've maxed out everything. Everything is gold, all my ship, the armor, everything, and it's such a treat to play. But you know what? Before I get off topic, I want to go to Judzilla on this one. What are your takeaways on obviously, Red Dead Redemption is a fantastic game, but the online absolutely is a low point of this whole story. Did you try it on? Are you interested to play the Battle Royale mode?
I have tried the beta, and yeah. So I've got a couple of points with this one. Okay, so firstly, I'm with you on. I go to Red Dead for the story mode, and it's just amazing, and that time and quality that Rockstar put in, and you can feel it when you play it. It's brilliant. The thing about the online being half-assed, I completely agree. It shouldn't be out in the state it's in. I know it is still in tests and everything, but we expect a little bit better than that. Battle Royale, honestly, this drives me kind of crazy because I need my medicine. Honestly, if you're going to take a game and tack on Battle Royale, which is what they've done, why would you then put the worst two weapons in the game, a bow and arrow and a knife? Are you kidding me? This is absolutely crazy. What they're going to do next? Have people roping players off their horses, and the last one hogtied is winner? It doesn't make any sense.
I hope not, because that sounds really boring.
I can already see how this is going to play out. Somebody just going to be like sitting in like a house somewhere, just waiting. How they just do that and call stuff. Yeah. That's exactly what it's going to be like. And they think they're clever by locking doors, stuff like that. But it's like 9 times out of 10, there's always somebody who's going to find a certain exploit, a certain spot that you can't find.
A corner somewhere where you just would never think to look, and you're like, okay, you win the match. Chicken.
Exactly. That's what I don't like about Battle Royale styles. It's kind of, it sounds cool on paper, but it's all about execution.
Correct.
Yeah, do it properly. You can promise me X amount of things. You can claim that people do this, but you cannot dictate or, you can't dictate at all how somebody's going to play. Somebody's going to do what they want to do eventually. So
Battle Royale isn't for me, to be honest with you. I did play PUBG. I played Fortnite, unfortunately, and was violently sick after playing that piece of shit. And then you got COD. COD come out and do it the best, as far as what people are saying nowadays. And I think Rockstar just wanted to bring this out before Firestorm in Battlefield 5.
Yeah, I agree.
It is a cash grab, and I'm just not interested in it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But the online, I think it's got potential. They do need to bring out story DLC, like these guys are saying in the chat. I completely agree. But yeah, I'm in it for the story mainly.
Didn't they?
I agree with.
I thought when I saw in a video they had a narrative to to the multiplayer I saw. You guys have played it. I haven't played it, but isn't that right? You get broken out of prison or something at the start.
It's like a Titanfall narrative, though. Really, it's not.
It's not like anything substantial.
It's nothing. No. Yeah,
it's like something that's like clearly made on the side. You can clearly tell it's just made on the side.
Right.
And just a few missions you can do, which are fine. That's cool. No, I do like that. But even with that, though, it's like, again, it doesn't excuse the broken state. It doesn't excuse how exploitive the game is. Like, come on, I don't like that. And the fact that you can even buy with real money upgrades to the camp, it's like, I see what your priority was. And it wasn't to making a quality online experience. It was just to make more money out of people.
Definitely, they're trying to push the long game, aren't they? That's what they're thinking
and
now.
Game. Keep this in mind. This isn't GTA 5. GTA 5 is a modern,
right. This that you buy cars, you buy homes, you buy guns.
You buy businesses, make crazy money that you can do with friends. You can actually impact how the world is because you have a substantial force with your business and how the market reacts. Remember how you can do that with the business? You can't do stuff like that in Red Dead. There's nothing like that. This is Western. So what exactly were they expecting is beyond me. I don't understand.
Would you be interested if you could buy a whorehouse, though? That's the real question.
Hell yeah.
I think that's probably going to have to come down the line.
You can't even buy a saloon or anything like that, but I guarantee you that's something they'll probably build upon, though, and have that as an option. Rather, you had to pay $100 in general for a shark card just for a yacht in GTA 5.
Yeah.
Who's to say they wouldn't do that for Red Dead Online?
They're probably going to in some way or another. But you know what? Obviously, feedback is, of course, the answer. If you're not happy, let Rockstar know and let them know that this is not what you want. But Indie Gamer, I want to, I know you said you didn't play it, but, obviously, it's still a fantastic game at the end of the day. But are you interested to see what's going on the online part, or you just don't care?
Like I've said to you before, I'm more of I definitely do like multiplayer games, but I'm more of a single player guy as a majority. So I wasn't really thinking that I'd get that involved with the multiplayer in Red Dead anyway, but I did check out a video about it to see what it's all about, and it's annoying because like it looks good, but like I think that's what Ryan said as well. It looks good, but when you get down to the actual meat of it, it's fundamentally flawed by a lot of cancerous sort of like microtransactions, etc., which seem to not be very well balanced at the moment. It's
not even finished.
Yeah, it's not good that they're asking you to pay money in a beta. That's definitely bad side of the times.
That's true as well. Yeah, that's a good point.
Bethesda levels right there.
Bethesda
really lost their mind with this Fallout 76. But
yeah, you know what? That's a 2-hour program.
Yeah, that's a long one.
Trust me, I bought the $200 collector's edition, so I'm on the ropes for them. But you know what? Everyone had a great point, and we actually have a few minutes left, and I don't want to cheat the fans. And I have a good topic. Former Blizzard employees claim Activision's cost-cutting exercises are negatively impacting the studio, and this is not the first time we're hearing complaints like this. Now, if you are a gamer, and most of us are, that here on the panel and in the chat, when you say the word Blizzard, it's the same thing as Rockstar. You think quality.
Exactly.
Not so much in the last couple of months, especially if you look back to a few months ago with BlizzCon. And all the Diablo controversy that came out of that. Now, coming out of that event, a lot of people, including industry insiders, said that there has been a change in the way Blizzard is doing their business. Now, they have always been a player-first company. But since teaming up with Activision, changes are starting to happen. And according to this report, Activision Blizzard's chief financial officer Amrita Ahuja reportedly took Blizzard employees by surprise in spring of 2018 when she announced that one of the company's goals for next year was to save money. This is the first year we heard of priority being cut costs and trying not to spend as much, said an employee who's no longer with the company. And in the same report, another employee claims to have left Blizzard partly due to Activision's negative influence, and they said that it almost felt like Blizzard wasn't making any money, although that is not the case. And that also continues and says, This was the first time I've ever heard we need to show growth, they added. That was just so incredibly disheartening for me, and that's why they left. Now, I have to go to the panel on this. Titan Drago, listen, we were all disappointed. I'm a big Diablo fan. I was expecting Diablo 4 at BlizzCon. We didn't get it. But I think that this report is really hitting the nail on the head when it comes to Activision being Activision. When you say gross and nasty and disgusting companies, the two that ring out immediately are EA and Activision. And it seems like their negative tentacles have taken over Blizzard. What are your takes on these reports?
Yeah, this is something that when I heard, it really irked me, because it's like, why do you need to cut corners on franchises that have done you so well? Like, I could see if you're cutting corners on smaller projects that haven't proved themselves yet or whatever, but we're talking about Blizzard, okay? Like, to me, it seems like Activision maybe forces their hand into the mobile market as a main priority. Maybe it should have been more of a secondary priority, you know? Like, how do you not keep your staple titles lineage the priority, you know?
I agree.
It seems like a big mistake on the publisher's part to me, and it seems like the publisher is like punishing the developer for it, and it's like there's greed is gonna be the end of these companies, man.
Yes.
It's like, why are you so greedy? Why do you need growth? Is not being at the top enough? You have to keep growing. Like, hey, as long as you don't shrink, okay? Because that's what happens a lot of time with economies. You know, economies grow and grow and grow. You know, in the 90s.
And they bottom out.
Yeah. What goes up must come down, people. It's the way it is.
That's what she said. Bump.
Yeah. Good end.
Well, listen, you know what? I got to throw a joke in there every now and again. Well, listen, that was great. And Titan, you made a lot of sense. And you know what? We're talking about Activision. When you talk about Activision, you bring up Bungie and you see what's going on over there. And now you see what's going over here with Blizzard. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. So, Ryan, I want to get your take on this. This report is telling, and I'm only reading pieces of it because the report was 3 pages long. But you know what? I only have so much hand space, room on my computer to add all this stuff. So I left out a lot of the stuff I didn't think was important, but I put the stuff in there that makes sense to us. What are your takeaways from this? And do you think that Activision is, in fact, ruining Blizzard as a company?
I think Activision as a whole is ruining gaming in general.
Nice.
You think about it, a lot of these companies follow Activision's policies. They do a lot of these crazy shit where it comes to loot boxes and microtransactions. Like, even a company that I really adore, like Naughty Dog, had loot boxes in Uncharted 4, even though they weren't like those duplicate things where you get duplicates. No, it was like stuff you can unlock. They had those in Uncharted 4 regardless. You know, I don't think Activision is terrible. It's not a company that I like to support at all, because they usually put in half-ass work in their games and they try to charge you the full price. Think about it. They cut out a major selling point that has been a staple in Call of Duty since day one, which is single player.
Yes, which
just for a battle royale mode.
Yep.
You know, and they still asked you for $60, and they're asking for single, season pass and all this stuff.
And they have all those different crates that you can buy with real world money, and they're just raking people over the coals. I agree.
And what do they do after they sell this, Boom? They always brag about it. Oh, we sold this amount. We made this amount of revenue. This, that. It's like you're setting an example. Like, it's like, dog, you're not putting in any effort in these games. You're half-assing it. It's pretty obvious. You half-ass it. Now, some people might say, well, I don't care about the story mode, or I haven't cared about story mode. It doesn't matter if you don't care about the story mode. That's still substantial
other people
content.
do, though. I'm one of them.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's still substantial content being cut from the final game.
Right. Now, listen, I can't argue with anything you're saying. They are a gross company. And you know what? They're eventually, and Titan said it, greed will be the end of them. Judzilla, I want to get your opinion on this. Blizzard has been renowned for years, not talking about the last few years, but years and years of fan service. They were looked at as one of the more proper companies when it came to dealing with the fan base. But it seems like somewhere along the line, since they teamed up with Activision and they put a few people in place, they took a turn for the worst. What are your takeaways on Blizzard possibly being the next company that is known that people are going to now have no respect for?
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree with everything that's been said so far on this topic. And do they need any more money? No, but they want all the money. I think with titles like Diablo, you know, we talk about fan favorites and you get better responses when you serve the fans. Developers care about that franchise. Publishers care about shareholders. I think that probably sums it up. And while they can do these things and get away with it, yeah, they're going to keep pushing. The move to mobile, Microsoft going, oh, we need, there's 6 billion gamers out there. The only way these companies are going to get those gamers is by the casual audience. And so the publisher doesn't care about the developers' franchise. They care about how they can exploit that franchise to the most people possible. And I think, yeah, they're definitely going to lose respect. I think they're going to go the way of Bungie. Looked how that's working out. It's not a good look for the gaming industry, to be honest with you. And it will come full circle because, they'll fall to pieces again or they'll get out of that contract. I don't know. Just like Bungie. And to be honest, I just don't think it's going to end well. They need to do something about this. It's only going one way. And it takes us right back to the beginning of the conversation today when we were talking about the cost of gaming altogether. So, yeah, I think it's mainly the publishers that are killing the devs in these franchises because they just see them as cash cows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate because Diablo is a mainstay franchise. Everyone that comes out sells millions and millions of copies. I mean, for crying out loud, they just released it on the Switch, which I actually am going to buy because you can play as Ganon, which is amazing. There's a Ganondorf skin for that, and you know what? My wife and I love the Diablo series because we like the top-down RPG element. Like my wife and I used to play for hours of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and even and this is going old school, Champions of Norath on the PlayStation 2. 1 and 2 was fantastic. So I was disappointed. Indie Gamer, look, everyone has said their piece, but I want to get your particular take on this. Activision, they're gross. Blizzard, they're getting there, and it's sad to see. Are you surprised that the company that was beloved by so many has taken a turn this fast?
Not exactly. I mean, it's a bit of a poison at the moment. More people do it, the more other companies that they think they can get away with it as well. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems. But I think you guys have made really good points. Actually, with the more you push it, though, they're gonna exploit people more and more and more, and it's gonna crash at some point. So it's not a good look. They've got dollar signs on their eyes. It's just they're like literally infatuated by the pound signs in the UK, of course.
It was crazy. Look how many game modes are in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Not that many, are there?
Right.
Game. Not that many.
Not many. I haven't played it, but title or something.
Well, they added the old school ones that are good ones, though. They added the 2 new ones that are good. I liked the Heist. I liked Heist.
Yeah, but notice how there's not like stuff that you used that brought you to the franchise to begin with. Like there's no headquarters, right? There's no infected. There's no like that. Like a lot of these other modes just gone for what?
Infected would have been nice. Yeah, that's true.
Especially on that battle royale map, and it's like big like that, a bunch of people. That'd be cool.
That would be. That's an excellent point, man.
Notice how there's no innovation. Remember, they say innovation all the time. Where's the innovation in the modes?
There hasn't been in a long time.
Where's the creativity? Where's the creativity? You putting all these old maps that we had in previous installments and putting them on a battle royale style.
It's just cut and paste at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It really is. But look, I want to say this. First of all, we've gone over the 2-hour mark, and I want to thank everybody on the panel. You guys were absolutely what as professional as you could possibly be. Everyone had fantastic points. I want to once again thank the chat. I say this all the time. I like to run a friendly chat, and that's exactly what we had happen today. I want people to come and hang out, talk with one another, listen to a bunch of guys talk about games, and enjoy the hell out of themselves. And that's what happened today. So let's get to the outros. Titan Drago, you were worth the money bringing you in, because you started out slow and then you blew out everyone's eardrums, and I absolutely loved it. I couldn't wait for it. It was Mooch 2.0, so congratulations on that. And all you need to do is have someone game gift you something, and then you're officially a Mooch.
Yeah, right.
So
that's awesome.
Your voice is unique. Your opinions are right on point, and you don't pull any punches, and that's what I respect and like about you. It was great having you back on the show. Please tell everyone where they can find you.
Everything at Titan Drago, everyone, and thanks for having me on, Boom. Thanks for letting me get the clarification out there. I really appreciate that. Like, people that don't know, like, doing podcasts is pretty hard because you don't always get to say everything you'd like.
Exactly.
And sometimes, and sometimes maybe you feel like you think about it, maybe you think you could explain yourself better and stuff. So I appreciate this opportunity, but it's all good. I love debate, and I don't take offense to anything. That's just me. Therefore, I probably offend others unintentionally because I have thick skin myself. But like take my intro poking fun at indie. You know, some people might take offense to that. But, you know,
I love it.
Statement. I just want to say, you know, let's let the little stuff go. Let's game on, and let's bring the common back to sense.
I absolutely love it. And Ryan the professional. Listen, dude, this was great having you on the show. This first time we're working together. I have to say, I'm utterly impressed with your gaming knowledge. This is certainly not going to be the last time you're on Breakfast with Boom. Maybe sometime down the line, I'll even be on one of your shows. That would be very interesting. Please tell everyone where they can find you, my brother.
I mean, absolutely. If you want to, we'll be live today at 5 p.m. Eastern. You guys can find me on YouTube and Twitter at Ryan the Professional. Definitely, if you guys want to, you can join us on the podcast, the RGT. It's 5 p.m. Eastern, and yeah, it's called The Real Gamer Talk.
Yeah, well, listen, dude, you were fantastic. When you talk to Luca, obviously say Boom said hello. We're very good friends, all the way from Chicago and New York. Listen, you did great. Judzilla, it's always an absolute pleasure having you on. You do have technical knowledge because you obviously are in the development community. We have become good friends since I did your community spotlight way back in the days when I first started this YouTube shenanigans. And I just really enjoy hanging out with you. Thanks so much for hanging out. Tell everyone where they could find you.
Oh, thank you very much, Boom. I really appreciate coming back on. I had a tough day at work today, and I got some coffee in me, and I got revved up eventually. I don't think I'll ever hit Titan's level of panic, but I'll get practicing. So, you guys,
just let me get a comment back to sense out of you real quick.
I've got to work on that. But yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. A couple of you guys I've never spoken to before, and it was really good back and forth. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you want to follow me, why I don't know, but if you do, on Twitter it's at Judzilla UK, and Xbox is Judzilla. And I cancelled my PS now, so you probably won't find me on PlayStation anymore. But again, great chat, great panel, awesome. Thank you very much. See you soon.
All right, very good. And of course, last but certainly not least, my very good friend, the community good guy, known as the indie gamer who supports everyone. And I think everyone should support him because he is a breath of fresh air in the negativity that could be on Twitter. So, tell everyone where they can follow you on Xbox Live, on Twitter, and you do have a YouTube channel.
Yes, certainly do. Thank you absolutely so much today, Boom. It's been an absolute blast. Great to be on with Titan. Obviously, always makes me laugh. I love Titan, but it's been great to meet Ryan as well. He's really good. You're really good today. Some super good points. And Judzilla, I've chatted to you a little bit in the Dazcast chat, I believe, and it's good to actually chat in person. But obviously, Boom, you're a legend. You run an awesome show. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, if you wanted to get hold of me for any reason, my Twitter is at indie. Sorry, start that again. At indie _gamer _. Right, okay, let's do this. Here we go. Little warm up. At indie _gamer _01. And you can find my YouTube link on my indie. Oh my God, what is going on my
Listen,
Twitter?
Don't worry, dude. All of your,
but it's all in the down below anyway. So if you made any sense of that, you probably didn't. Have a look down below.
Never too early to start drinking, Indy.
I do. Daz has corrupted me.
You know what it is? He's so punch drunk from last night. Whatever was dropped into his drink is affecting his speech.
It's still keeping me going. No, honestly, I've just had an absolute blast today. Thank you very much. It's been amazing.
it was great to talk with everyone. Listen, on the way out, there's still 80-something people in the chat. Please do me a favor. I don't ask for much, but I do ask that if you enjoyed today's 2-hour show, please hit the like button. And I always say this with absolute with truth. If for some reason you didn't like it, we said something offensive, or you want something covered better, just hit me up in the DM and hit that down button. You know what? I mean, listen, I don't want thumbs downs. As a matter of fact, my particular channel has a 93.6%, according to YouTube statistics, of thumbs ups. So I'm doing something right. But if you, like I said, if you like the content, please hit the like button. The support from the community has been second to none. And I just want to wish everyone a fantastic rest of this Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. I will see you next week on the newest episode of Breakfast with Boom. Have a great day, everyone.